This is Bear and the Bear, and since I've been on the subject today on some game suggestions that the developers could fix things in the game to kind of make more sense. Another issue I'm seeing is it's a quality of life issue, and when I say that, what I mean by quality of life is a lot of the newer games and games in general nowadays when they come out or when they do updates, they look at certain things in the game that cause players issues, confuse, players unnecessarily, things that would really streamline and make things a little more simple for players to understand concepts in the game, how to craft or make certain things and give more explanation. This suggestion is about the equipment facility. I'm pretty sure the developers are aware that there's a lot of players that are really confused about equipment. And I've played a lot of these games, and this is a little bit of a different, system in this game. And it can be kind of hard, confusing. So I think here are some suggestions I think the developers could implement into equipment that would really streamline and make things a little more simple and for players to understand. First thing is when you develop, you know, say I want to develop a reactor. I'll go back to level 1. All right, I can get a 1.8 to 6.6%. All right, for melee or range attack. 6% is the highest I can get. I made a video on equipment facility earlier about the beginning basics, what you need to do starting out trying to get equipment. So 6% is the highest you can get. Well, now we're going to go and look at manage. All right, you go to manage. Here's my reactor. All right, that's a 4.2%. It's not a 6%. It's 1.8% off. Well, what this game could do, the developers could do, is they could, next to that 4.2, over to the right of that, they could list, like in parentheses, the maximum amount of percentage that reactor could give. This way, you could cycle through all of your, equipment, and you can see what the max is and how far off you are from your max. That way, if you want to decide where you want to craft another one of those, it's just not good enough. I need a 1.8. I'm 1.8% off from the perfect, so I want to get maybe about a 0.5% close to being perfect at the least. So it would give players to be able to cycle through all their skills and see which one's the weakest one. Say this one is 3% off from being perfect. Well, I could work on this one first. So having that max percentage over to the right is really going to help players. Another thing is when you do enable extensions. Okay, now you can see the pictures. This is a little bit triangle one here. This is a green one with the green background. The green background, that means that's low grade. Blue is the second grade. Purple is the third grade. Orange is the highest grade. That's understandable. Okay, but the problem is you don't really know what equipment's going to take what. Okay, and I don't have any level 2 equipment, which would be a big help. If I could get it level 2 and I could really start showing and explain how some things could get changed and make things a lot more simpler to players. But I'm still at level 1. I'm struggling just to get materials just to build up. This is the pay to win aspect of this game, unfortunately. But you work with what you got. So if I would click that, if it was a level 2 or level 3, it would have little slots down here underneath the skill, melee attack and mid range attack. Underneath that it would have a couple slots down there. All right. Now what they could do is they could change those slots and make them certain shapes. Like they can make maybe melee and mid-range attack skill, melee or mid-range attack extension boost. They can make those triangle. Let's go look at another one here. Yeah, mid-range, all those troop attacks. They can make that they have a picture of a triangle inside it, and that's great. But to really make it more understandable, they could just make the square around it. They can make that triangle. Next one over is get melee troops, hit points, mid-range, long range. They can make that, they can keep that a square, Next one, it's increased defense of. They can make that a circle, Okay, the problem is, you look at here, they got so different ones. Raises armies, attack power, damage. I'm not saying that they have to change the outside, but they can make the pictures maybe. Maybe they need to work on a better way of using some type of easier symbols for recognition of what each skills do, and what, and how they'll look down here. I just think it's just too confusing at this point. I think a lot of players, they don't understand, what extensions they can use for a reactor or for an apparatus, and they have to keep kind of cycle through them. Now with the craft, needs to be some type of easier symbols. Color coding would be hard because you're using the color code for the level of the extensions already. So maybe somehow changing the shapes of certain ones, Maybe you don't need to make it so restrictive, Maybe the developers need to just say, hey, we'll just make 3 different types of extensions that you can put into any of your gear. Give more customization to the players, Just make it, make it 3, Just make one extension that can fit in the square, another extension that can fit in a circle, and another extension that can fit in a triangle shape. Okay, and then all you'd have to do is you have to look over here and you would see, I got maybe at reactor level 2 you get a circle skill, right? Or maybe at level 3 you get a triangle, and maybe at level 4 you get a square, Well, then you could just simply go to your enable extensions, and you could see which ones you can craft. One might be a circle, one might be a square. You could have 2 or 3 circles, 2 squares. In this situation, you could have 2 of these squares, 2 of these circles, and 2 of these triangles. And then you'd know, okay, I need a triangle right now. I want to craft a triangle. Then you'd look and say, okay, this one's a triangle, and this one's a triangle. And you would know that these 2 are the ones that you could use to put into that new equipment you just leveled. Got to make it simple, There's a lot of things in these type of games. You have to learn a lot of things, and to make this, complicated, because you're going to have to get blueprints on that. That stuff takes forever. This is a major pay-to-win aspect, and I'm not knocking the developers for that, because they have to generate funds to keep the game running, new updates. Game companies making money it's a good thing overall for everyone, but they could streamline this, and I think the easiest way they could streamline this is just make these, instead of these all square, they can make them just shapes. Just make 3 different kinds. Don't make 4 or 5 different ones when you can only get in this equipment. You can only take this one. Just make it to where all the skills. I'll go one more time. Recap. As far as your equipment, just make when you level it to level 2, there's a square slot underneath it. When it's level 3, there's a triangle underneath it. When there's a level 3, when level 4, just make a circle slot. and then just allow players to pick 3 different types of skills for each of those gears. I think that's the simplest way to do it, and it's going to give people more customization, you know, more variation in the game, to where players can pick what they want and put in. So not not every single player that spends a lot of money or was active enough to get those all unlocked is going to have the same abilities. I really think that's a plus too. I hope the game developers are watching this, because I really think that I'm pointing out a really good points here, and in the long run, I think it's going to encourage people. A lot of people right now, man, they don't understand the extension system, extension component. Why I got to buy that? I'm not. They could do more explanation. When you go and manage, long range. Okay, equipment bonuses. All right, could right here in equipment long range. They could have like a circle, square, or a triangle next to each one of those, to let you know what kind of skill. What that would be, when you do put it in. There's no explanations either. Let's see if I can go to storage. Yeah, go this. I mean, this is all they tell you. Look at that. You get 2 little short paragraphs. Okay? I mean, that's for that, but for name one extension higher, it doesn't tell you how much. How do you get extensions? Well, just some more how to get. But I think if they simplify it to where players, most players understand what they need to craft, more people are going to start spending money to buy those packs. I think right now, the developers probably have noticed that there's not enough sales in that. People like develop. Next name. I'm pretty sure, and this is going to prove my point. The developers probably have noticed that extension components and a lot of those type of things, they're not really selling too good in the game, and that's because people just don't understand what they need to make once they level up a certain gear. So, thanks for watching. If anyone else agrees with my point that they need to just make 3 different types, and let players just put them in 3 different type of shape slots in their gear. If you agree with that simplicity, it'll make things a lot easier. Get rid of the confusion. It would help a lot of people out. If you agree, feel free to post, subscribe. If you're a developer, you want to contact me, you're still not sure what exactly I mean, I'm always open to communication with any type of game designers. This is Baron the Bear. Thanks for watching.